Is anyone truly surprised at this point that the Labour government continues to fumble at nearly every turn? Their record over the first 100 days has been riddled with mistakes, missteps, and outright blunders. And let's be honest, we're all bracing for things to spiral further downward. In today's video, we will dive deep into the latest major political crisis brewing, centered around a move that could spell disaster for the current administration. Foreign Secretary David Lammy is rumored to be preparing for a move that could have long-lasting consequences. As always, we'll not only discuss this issue in detail, but also touch on all the latest news unfolding across the UK, from London to the smallest corners of the country. But before we jump into that, don't forget to show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing to our rapidly growing community. You'll be the first to know when we release new content, and you can join the conversation with others who are as passionate about these topics as we are. Now let's get into it. The David Lammy conundrum, reparations and colonialism. It seems that Foreign Secretary David Lammy might be on the verge of making a decision that could define his career, and perhaps the trajectory of the current government. According to political commentator Emma Wolfe, Lammy could soon yield to pressure and agree to send hundreds of billions in reparations to the Caribbean nations. If true, this would be one of the most dramatic financial decisions in recent British history. This revelation comes in the wake of a report that both King Charles and Prime Minister Keir Starmer are bracing themselves for a staggering £200 billion reparations demand from 15 Caribbean governments. The source of this claim? The ever-controversial Daily Mail. The Prime Minister of Barbados recently addressed the United Nations, calling for a global reset in terms of slavery and colonialism, stating that reparations must be a key part of that process. This isn't just a financial issue, it's a moral and historical one that has far-reaching implications. Wolfe, in a recent interview, expressed her belief that the Labour government might actually agree to these demands. But she raised a critical point. Money doesn't change the past. Instead, she argued, what truly matters is acknowledging history, learning from it, and making meaningful changes moving forward. Every time a major summit of Commonwealth heads of state occurs, there are demands for enormous sums of money. This time, however, £200 billion eclipses anything that's been suggested before. It puts Britain's current fiscal challenges in perspective, doesn't it? Will Britain bow to pressure? There is widespread speculation about how the British government will respond. Wolfe and other political analysts believe that ultimately, the UK will end up parting with billions of pounds. David Lammy, in particular, has been very vocal on the issue. His speeches often reflect a deep sense of anger over the horrors of British imperialism, particularly the atrocities of slavery, which left scars across the Caribbean. Lammy's personal connection to the issue adds weight to the rumors. He is a descendant of enslaved people, and he has not shied away from sharing his views publicly. He notably supported the toppling of the Edward Colston statue in Bristol, an event that sparked nationwide debates about the legacy of British colonialism. King Charles, for his part, has also weighed in on the matter, stating that the conversation around slavery is one whose time has come. But the question remains, what form should that conversation take? Should it focus on rewriting history, tearing down statues, and erasing symbols of the past? Or should it be about education and making sure future generations understand the mistakes of their forebears? Wolfe made her stance clear. Let's talk about history, she said, but let's not erase it. Instead, let's ensure that our children learn about slavery in all its brutal reality. Let's face the uncomfortable truths, but let's not destroy the physical reminders of our history, however painful they may be. A divided debate. On the other side of the debate, prominent figures like Michael Walker from Novara Media believe that reparations could be a step in the right direction. Walker has suggested that Britain should acknowledge its responsibility and make amends. But he also pointed out that it shouldn't simply be a matter of transferring £200 billion. Instead, reparations should be tied to development aid or other forms of assistance that help the countries affected by colonialism to move forward. However, Wolfe remains skeptical of this approach. She pointed out that Britain already provides substantial foreign aid to many of these nations. Is this really about justice, she asked, Or is it just another way to shift the burden onto British taxpayers? This debate is far from over, and the decision David Lammy makes in the coming weeks could have profound implications, not just for Britain's relations with the Caribbean, but for its political landscape at home as well. The impact on domestic politics. While the issue of reparations may dominate headlines for now, the broader political picture in Britain is shifting rapidly. Reform UK, the populist party founded by Nigel Farage, has seen a dramatic surge in support. Recent polling shows that Reform UK has cut Labour's lead to just 6%, a shock result that has sent ripples through Westminster. More in Commons' latest survey revealed that Labour's support has fallen by 7 points since July, while the Conservatives have gained around 3%. However, the biggest story is the rise of Reform UK, which has jumped from 14% to 21% in a matter of months. For a party that many had written off as a fringe movement, these numbers are a wake-up call for Labour and the Tories alike. Labour's first 100 days, a troubling record. Labour's first 100 days in power have been anything but smooth. The party's once commanding lead has eroded, and it now finds itself neck and neck with the Conservatives, who have been leaderless for much of this period. Labour has seen its share of the vote shrink to 27%, while the Tories have climbed back up to the same figure. Reform UK's surge has clearly come at Labour's expense, as voters disillusioned with the government's performance seek alternatives. More in Commons data paints a bleak picture for Labour if current trends continue. The party, which won a massive 170-seat majority under Keir Starmer, could lose 113 seats in the next general election, reducing its presence in the House of Commons to just 299 MPs. Meanwhile, the Conservatives are projected to make significant gains, reclaiming around 90 seats and positioning themselves to challenge Labour once again. Reform UK's electoral surge. Perhaps the most striking development in recent polling is the rise of Reform UK. The Populist Party, which had just 5 MPs before the last election, is now on track to win 26 seats. Many of these gains would come at Labour's expense, particularly in historically working-class areas where disillusionment with Labour is running high. Reform UK's gains could be historic. The party is poised to capture seats like Haywood and Middleton North, where UKIP narrowly missed out on a victory in a 2014 by-election. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is it going well, or do you think he should take more time or step down? We're eager to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more UK and international news and updates. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.